So I'm going to start off just by saying that I am not an expert on Wall Street and how stocks exchange by no means. It's not something I've really studied a lot on. Even hearing this story, I kind of had to look into what it meant to quote unquote short a stock. So if I'm not on point and someone watches the video and they know a little bit more about how this works than I do, definitely drop some information my way. I'm not one to try to talk about a subject that I don't understand that well, but I think I understand enough of what took place here that I can at least give some light on it. And I think regardless of all the with all the fine print, with all the fine wording, or the the details of how they did what they did, I think we can all understand just what took place. What I'm talking about is the GameStop situation. So what I've gathered is that apparently, if you own a bunch of stock or whatever, there's shorting a stock. And supposedly, if you're shorting stocks, that means that you're almost like betting against the stock, saying that it's going to fail. That's what I've gathered from this. And so apparently there was a lot of hedge fund Wall Street billionaires who bet against the GameStop stock. Okay, I'll say that 3 times fast. They bid it low or whatever. That they shorted it, I guess is the term, by like 100%. So apparently there were some people on Reddit who know a little bit about how the stock trade works and said, hey, they're betting against GameStop to completely fail. So, hey, you know what? Let's just go on ahead and buy this stock. And it took completely off. Last I saw, I think that the stocks are selling for somewhere between $100 to $300 a purchase, basically. That's pretty impressive. They definitely made GameStop take off. Well, what's the backlash? Apparently, there is a hedge fund that is facing collapse. These people who were betting against these stocks supposedly just lost their ass because the stock did the exact opposite. Not only did it not fail, but it dramatically took off. And so that entire hedge fund could just be completely done away with. Now, not only that, I've also seen some reporting that some others could be in trouble, but the big backlash to this whole thing has been, especially from what I've been seeing floating around on mainstream media, is that maybe we need to put some regulation in place to stop this kind of thing. That these Reddit users are manipulating the market. What? Now, again, is it probably a manipulation to some degree? Sure. The ironic part, though, is they bought stock dirt cheap. The company has been successful. The stock has skyrocketed. Isn't that what all you rich fuckers would have called a good investment if y'all had done the shit? But no, it's because the little guy bought all the stock. You rich people are losing your ass, and now all of a sudden it's a manipulation of the market. Why? Because they found a way to beat you at your own game? Because unless I'm missing something, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me these people caught on to a good opportunity. They're making money for themselves, and all you rich people who want to gamble with people's lives, because one other thing that I've gambled is that basically when they short this stock, one other thing that I've picked up on, when they short this stock, they are almost trying to crush the company. They're trying to crush the company. They're going to force them down and out, and if they ever had hard times, it makes it harder for them to get loans, I believe, as well, right? So if you force that company out of business, what would you be doing? You would be putting something out of business. You'd also be costing people their fucking job. Now, Do I think that someone working at GameStop is making enough money that they're probably living a comfortable life? No. It's not really, unless you're like the management or whatever. I don't know that GameStop is really like a career job. I think for my neck of the woods, if you hire on at GameStop, you're probably only getting somewhere around $10 to $12 an hour. Okay? And at $12 an hour, you probably have to split the bills with somebody else and rake and scrape, in all honesty. You probably even in South Carolina couldn't just live on your own, and you'd be living in a dump eating ramen noodles every night if you found a way to do it. I mean, it's just not feasible. So that being said, these people are taking advantage of what you've taken advantage of for years, and they're manipulating the market, yet what you're doing is trying to manipulate someone's life. You're trying, for your own fucking gain, to put something out of business so you can make money off of its failure. Meanwhile, these people who probably like GameStop said, no, fuck you. We want GameStop to succeed, and we want to see the rich fuckers like you who treat us like pawns on a chessboard, we want to see you get your comeuppance. So they buy all this stock, and now you're losing your fucking ass, and now everyone's up in a damn hissy because these rich people who play games with our economy and our country are getting a little taste of their own medicine to find out just what it feels like to lose your ass. Now, when the little guy loses his ass, where the fuck's the outrage? When a hedge fund billionaire plays games or bets against a stock and then causes a company to crash so they could profit off of that, where's the outcry for all those little guys that you just fucked over? I hear crickets, except for people like myself who can relate to these people, who have empathy for these people, because we know what it's like to walk a mile in those shoes. But you rich fuckers don't give a shit. You couldn't give a hot damn. To use another one, you don't give a flying fuck. You don't care. Because your rich, narcissistic ass has still got plenty of damn money lying around. But the fucking minute someone outsmarts your ass, takes all that shit away, or causes you to lose it all because you had a bad bet, not only do you want to follow the law of the bet, and when you lose, be a man on up to it. Now you're upset, you're throwing a tantrum, you're getting mainstream media to throw a fucking tantrum for you, and here's what's best to fucking all. Rumor has it, these people are considering getting bailouts. That they might actually get bailed out. What? So, how about the little guy? How about the little guy who ever invested in a stock that just didn't pan out, didn't use his money properly? He had just enough to really try to invest into one good product. This has happened before. People invested money into a stock thinking, this is going to take off. Somebody probably sold them a big line and said, it's going to be the product of tomorrow. And they invested all they had into it. Even though it's not a stock, maybe they just invested into a business of some sort. And then that business fell on its ass and they lost everything. Where the fuck's their bailout? Ironically enough, when it comes to healthcare, can't find the fucking money. It's not feasible. It's not going to work. You can't do it for healthcare. You can't fix Social Security. You can't do a UBI that would work. You can't do any of this fucking shit for the people. Whether you agree with the stimulus or not, we are under the impression the Democrats said we'll get a $2,000 check if you get us into office. Now we're talking that shit down to $1,400, and now we're talking in getting $1,400 in fucking March. Not even immediately. So, they've lied. They can't cough up any fucking money for the rest of the country, but you're going to consider bailing out billionaire hedge funds. Why? Why? Because some of these rich fuckers buy you off? Would that have anything at all to do with it? Maybe just a fucking little, right? Maybe just a little of something to do with it. That these rich fuckers have been contributing to your campaigns over the years. That's your ilk and we're not. Because we're fucking peasants. We're old blue collar regular folks. We don't attend your fine wine festival fucking dinners. We don't come to your goddamn fundraisers. We don't go to your fucking wine caves. We don't go to your Wall Street DOD filled fucking parties where everybody's handing out money hand over fist to get your ass fucking elected. That's why you gotta take care of them and not us. It's fucking obvious. I say all that shit rhetorically. It's not really a question in my mind, and I don't think it's really a question for a lot of people. We fucking see through you. You could find the damn money, and if you can't find the fucking money, you'll just print it the fuck out or borrow it from another fucking country to bail all these fuckers out. But you won't do a damn thing for your own country. And it puckered their assholes so fucking bad that this shit started happening, that they were being beaten at their own little rich game, that they cut off the fucking trading on Wall Street. Now, how many times have you ever seen that shit happen? The only other time I've ever seen that happen is when the damn market was in a free fall collapse and they triggered a shutoff. And I think one day that it fell so damn fast that triggered a shutoff within minutes of it opening or seconds or something. I don't even think it made it to a full hour. I don't remember if that was this year or not this year. I still can't get over the fact we're in 2021. I don't know if that was in 2020 or 2019 when it happened. But overall, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because what it just comes down to is this. Again, I'll bring up healthcare, for example. One of the biggest reasons regular people like myself go bankrupt in this country, if not the biggest reason. Okay, I don't remember if it's number one or not, but it's definitely right there at the top. I've seen the studies before. People like myself can't afford these massive, expensive medical emergencies. That's why when we have accidents or wind up getting gashes, we're sealing them closed with Loctite. I've told that story multiple times. If I had the same situation happen right now, do you think I'd be going to get stitches, or do you think I'm going to be cleaning it and sealing it with Loctite again? Because that's exactly what I'd be doing. It's beside the point. It's beside the point, okay? Flat out, we don't get the bailout. But they do. They do. And I got news for you again. For all the people, because last night I was on a Frank analysis. Now, Franco's a good friend of mine. Obviously, he's more on the left than I am. He's got an audience very much more left, I can tell by some of the people who were in their chats last night, than I am. And some of the responses when I was defending what I call true capitalism. Capitalism where we don't have the crony capitalism involved because the proper things were put in place to not allow monopolization. You had the proper Teddy Roosevelt style being accomplished there. You know what I mean? But not let these people get so massive that they just start to destroy the market because they've got way too much power. At that point, you're kind of being counterproductive to the point of competition. And I read what a lot of those people were saying. That, oh no, the elites, their argument was basically defending a socialism/communism. Understand this. If you think that what's taking place, if they bail out hedge funds, is real capitalism, it's not. It's not. Because under a true free market, under real capitalism, it is survival of the fittest. And what that means is, you got to do what you need to do to stay in business. Now, if some people take that as to, I'll cheat to succeed. I'll cheat. And what I mean by the cheating is they'll try to break the laws. They try to bribe politicians. Well, okay, but that's illegal. And you could go to jail for that if we had a government that would actually hold you accountable if you tried to bribe them and actually charge you. Unfortunately, because we have things like Citizens United, that doesn't happen. But what that also applies to is you've also got to just make the best product for the best cost to get business. Someone is going to want your product And if you want his business as opposed to your competitor, you better find a way to earn either his business where he trusts you as opposed to the competitor, or offer him better prices so that he is willing to shop at your place of business instead of the other place. That's kind of how that thing works, right? So the whole concept, survival of the fittest, you've made bad decisions. You betted and shorted your stocks to try to hurt a business. And you made a bet that this business is going to fold and I'll make money off of it. If I'm understanding that correctly now, okay? And that didn't happen. Turns out some people who didn't have the wealth that you had are just all banded together, bought a ton of that stock, did very, very well with it. The stocks are doing great, and you made a bad bet. I've never heard of a place at a casino that'll bail your ass out if you went in over debt, or if you got in deep with the loan sharks and couldn't repay your debts, that they just bail you out. So why do you get that kind of treatment? You gambled, you lost. Take your L and go home, fucker. Seriously. That's what this is. But no, they got to have bailout. So if you think that's a result of what an actual capitalist system is, that's not capitalism. What that is socialism for the rich. It's not socialism for us because we don't get such treatment. That's not capitalism, though. That's socialism for the rich. They make bad investments, and we bail them out. You make bad investments, well, oh well, how's it feel to lose your ass? That's basically the response. So all I can say is unless somewhere in the midst of all this, I've missed a very important lesson in what actually took place, and I believe I've got an understanding of it. Again, if someone has some information to prove to the contrary of anything that I've just said, I'm always open to learn new things, so drop it down in the comments below. But as things stand right now, I am mighty proud of these guys on Reddit. I think it's about time someone finally beat Wall Street at their own game.